Hey, I'm here. A little bit late, but I am here as promised. I just did my belly and I'll be here until about 10 p.m. So about 45 minutes, not a full hour like yesterday, but I'm coming tomorrow again. Hey, if you tell me who you are, your name, where you're from, we're gonna do our usual evening, late night, blah. I've lost all of my English. Morning. Where are you from? Where is your morning time? Yeah, totally ask the questions. So we usually meet at night. I start my life to ask you guys what you want me to make a video for tomorrow. So like last night, we talked about body image and how if you're an abuse survivor like me, that you just, you hate your body, you violate it, you hurt it. Hey, Vivid, Riaz, tell me what your name is. Maybe I'll try to remember. Oh my God, hi from Palestine. That's awesome. I'm in Seattle, Washington, but I'm originally from Russia, Moscow. So you asked for a video on body image and I made it. Hopefully that was helpful. Some of you asked for me to talk more about how you begin loving your body. So for me, because my body was sexually violated and, beaten and all that, I hated it. So I had to kind of like imagine it as a landscape, like hills and forests and stuff. Hey, from Saudi Arabia. Cheers from Pensacola. Yay. And Shams. Oh, that's right. That means sons and I remember now. I'll try to remember. I mean, there's so many of you guys, but if you want me to remember your name, yeah, just tell me your name, where you're from. Hey, from Florida. Wow, that's late, your time. So thank you for being here with me. So was this help? 2 questions for you. Was this helpful, the video that I posted today on the body image? I know some of you asked me to do a video on how to stop comparing yourself to other women or just how to even begin loving your body. And I hated my body. I mean, I didn't know that the body could be loved. It was kind of funny, like I grew up in Russia, so it was either like kind of being smacked on the head or smacked on the back or just like shoved around. Or it would be like grandmothers and they would smother me with kisses. Like, they would squeeze and like, oh, you little girl. And I felt like I was fucking squeezed, and they're like, mwah, 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 kiss my cheeks. And I was like, blah, like, get off me. So that's kind of what I knew, not like gentle love or like, hey, I love you. Hold on. I like your accent. Yeah, it's Russian. Okay, good. So the video was helpful. Awesome. So what do you want me to make a video about tomorrow? I know a bunch of you asked to tell more of my stories. Hey, tell us where you're from. What your name is, where you're at. It is late in Seattle. So anyway, so I didn't really know how to love my body. Oh, you're asking, CSA 3020 asking, do you believe in God? No, I do not believe in God. I grew up in Soviet Union. We actually didn't have religion. It was rooted out by communism, churches were blown up and so on and so forth. I'll tell you my personal stance on religion. I hate it with a fucking passion. Like I hate, Paris! I've been to Paris. Oh my God, I've been to Paris like 17, 18 years ago. I miss it. I'm gonna come back and I will visit you. But you personally, if you believe in God, I respect your choice. Like, seriously, don't fucking listen to anybody. Do what works for you. For me, it just doesn't work. I just don't believe in the Institute of Religion or some white dude, telling you how to live your life. Fuck that. My father's a white dude who violated me. Fuck that. It's a trigger for me. But anyway, for you, if you do that, that's fantastic. So Sham says, make more videos about toxic families and detaching yourself from them. What's it like in Russia? What do you mean? I mean, I haven't been in Russia for 20 years. Violet. Hey, Violet. Hi. Your videos are super healing. I'm so happy. So ask questions, you guys, what you want me to make the video tomorrow. Because if there's a common theme, then I'll make it, because I can't make like 20 videos at once. I actually totally forgot to make a video today for my startup account. Visit Emperorville if any of you follow it. I'm like, oh fuck, sorry, I was too busy. Bring you a lot of comfort. I'm so happy. How do you get confidence back? Confidence in where exactly? For me, I would say it was not so much confidence, but just I was desperate, and then I was just angry, you know. So I wasn't confident, I was just angry, and I just went with sharing my story because I was angry at my family for turning away from me after I confronted my father. He admitted to sexually abusing me, and then my whole family turned away from me, and I was like, you know, I was really angry. How to love myself. I always feel like I'm struggling with that. Dealing with unsettling memories, dysfunctional roles in the family. Hold on. Do you believe in meds for depression? Okay, so guys, I was on meds. Okay, I was on ADD meds, ADHD meds, PTSD meds, insomnia meds. I had interstitial cystitis. If those of you know what that is, it's like your bladder is so inflamed, you gotta go pee every 15 minutes. And then I had side effects, and I had meds for that. Like, I was on so many meds, and I had so many side effects. I would sweat or I'd go numb, or it was fucked up. So I'm on no meds right now. I'm sleeping like a baby. I don't have the whole squirrel so much anymore. I mean, I still do. I have a total ADD brain. Hold on, let me scroll down. And is there any situation that prevents me from leaving my parents? I'm totally stuck. I'm so sorry. Like, it depends on how old you are, and if you have a source of, you know, friends you can camp out with, or some source of making money. I'm afraid releasing the trauma will take so long, and I'll feel depressed. You know what? If you don't take a step today, it's going to take you that much longer. And down the line, if you're like 40 or 50 or 60, you will be really sorry that you didn't take your first step today. For example, the reason why I'm here, you guys, I could just go and watch my favorite TV show, but fuck that. Because when I was alone and nobody wanted to be my friend, my family turned away from me, I wish there was someone like this for me to tell me, you're going to be okay. You know, that you can do it. So this is why I'm here for you. Okay, so take a step today, because then you won't be fucked up much later. Like, I started too late. I was in my 30s. Son Asbury says, what do you do for a living? So I'm a writer. I actually brought my book. See, I prepared. I just published my 10th book. This is it. I know some of you already bought it. Thank you so much. I used to be a full-time writer. For 10 years, I kind of hid from people, so I wrote a bunch of novels. They're very dark. I wrote all of my shit out. But right now, I started a startup, so I'm not making any money at the moment. It is kind of very scary, but I put all my savings and whatever little money I had into my startup. It's called Embryville. You see it in my profile, in my bio. And we are a community to help you write your trauma into stories and get rid of it, to heal. Basically, a healing, super safe community to do what we're doing here. That's what I believe in, because I want to help you. We'll help you all. So yeah, if you want to come and join us. Started too late on what? Started too late to heal. Like, I wish I had someone to support me like this. Where do I live? I live in Seattle, Washington, in the Washington state. Can you show us an old pic of you? Okay, look, I actually did show it to you last time. Hold on. Yeah, if you can, if you want a discount to come in and try the first month, like, you know, much cheaper, because we're still in beta stage. You can follow me on Instagram, send me a message, say, hey, I'm from TikTok, give me a discount for you guys. So, yeah, so it's, I mean, or you can go and do it on your own right now, if you're willing, if you can, like, pay the full price for the classes subscription. You go to embryville.com, which is in my bio, and then you click on Get Started, and it will take you right to the page. So I would suggest take the monthly subscriptions, because I lead classes in there. Like, I led class yesterday and today. We work for 2 hours. We sit down and you write your shit out into the story in a small group of about 10 people. It's super safe. That's why we don't have any free accounts. So yeah, come join if you can. It's never too late to heal. Yeah, I totally agree. What time of days do I stream? I'm here every day. So I'm here every morning from about 9:30 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, and every night, like now, from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific time. I was a little late because I had too much work to do. Then I did my ballet. See, I'm on my ballet leotard. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to be late. Like, I have to eat something really quickly. So yeah, so hang on. I'm on the computer. I can log in and I can possibly show you the picture of me the way I looked like a long time ago. I think I had it saved. Yeah, I got it here. Okay, you guys want to see? So this is the two pictures of me now and 10 years ago when I was looking kind of, you know, older than I am looking right now. How do I flipped the camera. Can I flip? Yeah, I can flip the camera. Okay, you guys see? Do you see? So, do you see on the left with the short hair, kind of reddish, right this? So this is me in my 30s, okay? And I look tired and like older. I mean, this is not even me. I don't even know who that is, you know? And this is me here now, 10 years later. Well, this was a few years ago, so I don't have as much gray hair yet, but that's the difference. So you can see, I don't even recognize myself when I look at this, you know? It's fucked up. Let me flip the camera back. So, see? I did what you asked me for. And I tried myself to look like a man, like, you know, I would not put my hair back. Like, it was just, you just do this shit because once your body has been violated, you know, you hate it. You hate it, and you want to hurt it. So, like, I would work it to death, or I'd have to go pee and I would ignore it, you know, and I would sit until my bladder would burn, or I would need to sleep and I would ignore it, you know, or I would binge on food, or I would starve myself. I was like, what the fuck? You know, why am I treating my body like garbage? Is because I grew up with that. So, yeah, I know. I look younger now. Oh, thank you. See, I never have gotten hard before. I know you explained to me yesterday that I got the little gifts with like a little bow and a fire, and supposedly it's some tokens or something. I haven't figured out fully TikTok yet, but a heart was so beautiful. How do you even heal from trauma? Oh my God, where do I begin? I mean, that's why I started my company, is you begin writing the shit out. But you begin fantasizing, because most of the time we don't remember. The thing is that when you're abused, I'll give you a scenario, right? If you're a kid and there's this big adult, they hurt you, your first reaction are fight or flight, but you can't flee and you can't fight. So your kidneys release the adrenaline and it floods your system. Where do you think that chemistry goes? It seeps into your muscles. So the more of those fight or flight scenarios you have, the sicker you become. Literally, the chemicals have to go somewhere in the body. Do you get it? Did any of you hear stories where somebody, after they've been traumatized, had the deep tissue massage and they bawled their eyes out? It's because the chemicals have been released, okay? So hold on, let me scroll and let me see. There's been a bunch of comments. I do really hope I'm helping you. Writing helps. Yeah, I'm writing very much. And the best thing, yay, Natalia. So come join my community. We're writing there every day. Frenchie Baby says, hello, I feel I have crossed your path with so much intention. It's so wild. I love you. Thank you for being here. Seriously, you guys, you have no idea. This is healing for me, you know, being able to... Спасибо за помощь. Пожалуйста. Я могу с вами говорить по-русски, конечно, хотя this is just me, guys, talking in Russian. This is a C8 Truth telling me in Russian, because, yeah, I am from Russia. I know, ich spreche Deutsch ein bisschen. I can talk in German a little, because I used to live in Germany. So how I started was by writing. This was my first trilogy. So this is how I started processing my trauma, is this. Well, it's kind of like this one book is now squeezed into three. There's actually 3 books that I wrote. It was that thick, and it was about teenage suicide. It is about teenage suicide, because when I was a teen, I really, really wanted to kill myself, and I did not understand why. I blocked out all abuse. Oh, here's one more thing too. It's not that you just block it out. You actually don't know it's abuse. Okay, just for a second, bear with me here. Because it's normalized in your family. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. It's going to be nasty. So if any of you are triggered easily, cover your ears right now. Here, some are more TikToks with me speaking. Maybe I should make a TikTok video totally in Russian. Would that freak everybody out? So I would walk into the kitchen, I still remember now, or walk by or something, and my father was in a playful mood, right? So he would grab my butt, and then he would shove his finger up my butt through clothes, okay? In Russian, it's called горшеня. I don't know, any of you hear Russian, it's called горшеня. And I would freeze up and cry. I mean, you know, it would go in, right, into your butt. And he would laugh, and he would say, can't you take a joke? Он мне говорит, ты что, шуток не понимаешь? Ха-ха-ха, right? And I was absolutely terrified. Like, is that fucked up or what? And then my grandmother would be here, or my stepmom, and they would kind of go, ha ha ha. So this is just to give you an example how it's normalized. What is that? That is sexual abuse, part of it, because, you know, it is shoving a finger up your butt, right? Publicly, too. But I thought it was normal because it was accepted in my family. So I didn't even know it was abuse. I mean, that was on the surface. Behind the scenes, he did much more to me than that. But it was such common behavior. Do you get that? So this is why we're talking here, is to get the shit out, because if we don't talk about it, we don't even know we're abused. Like a lot of you said in the comments, wow, I don't remember my childhood either. You know what? Probably some shit is down there and you got to go down there and uncover, because it drives your decisions. In your subconscious, it's sitting, all that shit, and it makes you make decisions that you probably would not have if you knew what's driving it. Hang on, let me go read. There's been a bunch of comments. Yeah, processing is really, really important. It is horrible. I kind of don't, like, I'm so detached from it by now that I don't even, it's like I'm talking about another entity, not me, you know. Let's see, you're so sorry. Everybody's sorry. Yeah, well, you know, when you've been through stuff like that, and then you've accepted it, and then you understood why these people did to you, what they did, you kind of, like, it doesn't bother me anymore, if it makes sense. Like, I don't, you know, I used to cry, and I used to be very angry, and I couldn't just say it. Now, I think sometimes I feel a little bit of anger when I share it, but it's just, I mean, I'll tell you another story. For example, when I just uncovered all of this, I was like, okay, this is weird, like this shit doesn't happen. Like, a father does not sexually abuse a daughter, right? Like I couldn't actually remember. I was like, what did he do? Like, did he rape me with what? His finger, his penis? Like, what did he do? You know, at first when I was remembering, my body was flooded with all that shit. And I was just like, how do you even do that to a kid who's 5? Like what size of a 5-year-old girl's vagina? I mean, it's just, you know, all that stuff. Oh my God, you guys, you're witnessing my memory. I just disassociated. I just totally blanked. Shit, what was I telling you? This happens to me all the time. I begin talking about what actually happened and it's gone. I completely lost it. Wow. So that's how I know it's real. You know, it's like my brain is just turns on. It's gone. Something, I was telling you something. Anyway, if you want to remind me what I was trying to tell you, I can't remember now. 5-year-old stuff. Yeah, I said 5-year-old. I can't. So what you're witnessing right now is actually the shit all of us survivors go through, is that we literally cannot tell the entire story because it is so hurtful that we just blink. It's like pieces. It'll come to me. I was saying something about being 5. Hang on, it's so wild how parallel my path is with your message. You know, the worst thing is, oh, I think I remember it, is that it's really common in families. Like, you think that it's not, but it is. It's really common. Then you begin understanding. It's like, oh, I'm not alone. You know, the reason why I'm talking about it, to tell you, you're not alone. It is so typical. Yeah, I can't remember because it is very traumatizing. It's okay. Okay, off topic, but you look so pretty. Thank you. You know, this radiance, you guys, a lot of you are telling me, wow, your skin is great, da da da. But you know, it's all connected. Like, I looked always gray and tired. Does it make sense? Like, I mean, I was younger, sure, but I just did not shine, if it makes any sense. Like, there's this shine right now. I've seen some people who haven't seen me for about 10 years, and they look at me like, did you do a plastic surgery? I kid you not. They ask me, like, what did you do? Like, what are you smoking? I'm like, I just kind of vented all the shit out that my family did to me. I no longer carry it. I told them all to go fuck themselves. I'm not connected to them. I'm so happy. Like, I'm happier than I ever was. So this is how you can get to. Like, it's not any kind of magic. It is hard work. How old am I? I'm 45. I just turned 45 last week. Most of you probably joined me here because I did not even think that my video would be watched so many times, and I actually was crying over it because I thought, why so many people watched it. I think it was like 500,000 times or something, because it resonated with a lot of people. And that just makes me so sad, because, you know, how many of us did not have the parents that we wanted to have? And like, this is what I'm trying to do. A bunch of you here are like, hey, will you adopt me? I'm like, totally, I'll be your TikTok mom or parent or whatever. Because I wish I had someone who would tell me all these things. And I was alone, and I was a kid, and I didn't know. Do you know, guys, how I tried to figure out what was happening to me? I was reading books even as a kid. So my great-grandmother had this huge library, and I would read 1001 Nights. I mean, I was a kid, like 6 or 7. That is not, like, that is so R-rated stuff. If any of you read the 1001 Nights, it's full of sex, like weird sex. Like, there's this one fairy tale about a gorilla having a sex with a woman, and I was attached to that story because I thought, oh, my father is a gorilla. Like, it explained it to me. I was like, no, it's not my dad, it's a monster. So that's how I coped, because I couldn't talk to anybody. I just escaped into books. Did I go to therapy? Yeah. I tried 8 therapists and it wasn't working for me. I do have a great therapist now, but it took me 10 years to find her. That's why I started my startup, because we're just changing. I mean, we need something beyond therapy, besides therapy. And so it's cheaper and it's more fun and it's faster and it's literally community. We heal each other. So like, you would come in, you're not a therapist, but you've been through some shit, so you can lead a class and you can help people. You can lead a circle. We call them circles now. So it's kind of like you sit around the fire, 10 people, and you share stories, you write them out, you read them out loud, and you laugh. I mean, when was the last time you laughed in therapy? I don't like therapy because sometimes it re-traumatizes me. I have to go back into that shit. I don't want to remember it. Do you have any siblings? Yeah, I do. I have my 2 half-sisters. One of them would not talk to me because she, well, like I said, most of my family turned away from me. So, hey, Tunk girl. Yeah, ask your question again. I'll make sure to look because there's just too much for me to scroll up. So my other half-sister is in Moscow, and she's not in a very good place. Most of my family is not in a very good place. And so I have a lot of guilt. Those of you who are immigrants would probably understand it. It's called poverty guilt. It's kind of like when you escape from a place that was horrible and then you live well. Like every time I eat food, I'm like, shit, you know, my mom probably doesn't have money for food. And here I am eating food and I'm like the worst daughter ever. Until I understood that I really have to take care of myself first. And I'm not financially stable yet right now. So I really can't help anyone right now. Plus my son is 17 still. So it's like until my kids are out the door, I really cannot help my mom. So it fucks me up. Like I really wish I could. But at the same time, I had to cut her off. And I'm doing this right now for me to heal myself, but also with you to share it. So it's the same kind of shit that probably a lot of you deal with, like guilt. And society tells us to, you know, hey, take care of your parents, you know, because they gave you life, blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. You don't owe anything to your parents, frankly. They made a decision. They had you as a kid, so it was their decision. Hey, I got a fire! And thank you for a present, Raven Rain. Wow, thank you. That is so cool. I like it how it like comes up on the screen. Hang on. You're so powerful. Thank you. Wow, five siblings. That is nuts. Oh, I think, guys, I've seen it in another live stream that if you really want your question to pop, you ask it in Q&A, and then it pops up as this like white rectangle. I don't know, but somebody asked me here, hey, scroll up. I asked the question and then I've lost that person. So if you want to ask again, do that. But for tomorrow, I mean, we kind of went all the way sideways. My brain tonight is like, squirrel. I wanted to tell you a story, then I totally forgot. Am I Muslim? No, I am not. I'm not anything. I don't believe in God. I'm not religious. I'm not even, you know. Oh, you're estranged for your mom. Yeah, you know. The same here. So, oh boy, you guys, I have so much stuff to tell you. I don't even know where to begin. My mom was very beautiful, like gorgeous. I got maybe some of her beauty, but she's just absolutely stunning, and she suffered her entire life for it. first her mom beat her and her dad beat her. Her dad sexually abused her. And then because she was used to treatment of being beaten, constantly yelled at, she would just be, great fodder, like great victim for predators, for guys. So the wrong guys would always take hold of her. In the end, she ran away from home. Guess what? To my dad. My dad was 35 and she was only 18. So she gave me birth when she was 19. And he practically dominated her, and he was violent to her as well because he was an adult. She was a kid, like 18. So she's had a really hard life. She tried her best, I'm sure, with me. With my sister, it was really different because when she had me, she kind of neglected me. But with my sister, like, she hovers over her. Do any of you guys have this sibling where the parents are totally different with them? So I was jealous for a long time. I'm like, why don't you love me as much as you love my little sister? But I guess maybe the second time she, kind of was better for her to become a mom. I don't know. We never talk about these topics. So she is below poverty level right now in Russia. Like, she doesn't even have a place to live. She camps out with her boyfriend in the cabin, and I know she needs money, and whenever I can, I send it to her. But I also understood that I really need to take care of myself first because it's like a black hole. Like, so we're estranged in the way that she would message me and tell me, like, you're my daughter and you're supposed to help me. But like, you get really angry. And this message would knock me out of normal functioning for like a week or two. So I stopped. So she's on WhatsApp, we're talking sometimes. But she just knows how to tell me this one sentence, like one thing, and it just completely derails me. So you could say it's strange because I just would not talk to her for a few months. Like, for example, she suddenly out of the blue, a few days later, wished me happy birthday, which was like, I did not expect it. Like, she hasn't done it before, I'm like, oh my God, my mother wished me happy birthday. Before that, she was really angry. So it's like, okay, are we talking now again? I'm afraid to call her because if I do, the first thing she says, first of all, she never listens to me. I can't tell her like I'm telling you guys. How am I? What's going on with me? It's just her the whole time. How everything is bad, how she's dying, and like, or, it's awful. And then after all of that, she says, can you send me money? So it's just like, it's very difficult to have a conversation like this, So when I have money to call her and tell her, hey, mom, here's money, bye, then I'll do that. But I can't right now. So Frenchie Baby says, I relate more than I have with anyone other than any siblings. Yeah, I mean, oh, you haven't talked to your mom in 4 years. I'm sorry. I haven't talked to my dad in over 10 years. And frankly, I don't know if I'll ever talk to him. I don't know if I'll ever see him alive, I don't even know if I'll go to his funeral. Like, I'm here, he's over there in Russia. I don't know how long he'll live. He's pretty healthy from what I can tell, but I don't know. And I've accepted that because to me, he is dead. I mean, I really never had parents. I had to parent myself. My parents were kids in many ways, and they used me to, to kind of make their own pain not as painful. That is practically what they did. So, but I want to get us back. We have another 20 minutes to go, so we're fine. But tell me again for tomorrow, because I got kind of like scattered ideas here of conversation. What do you want me to make the video about for tomorrow? I got a bunch of stuff from past live streams. You said how to forgive, and then you said how to trust again, and then how to not feel guilty, and then... yeah, and then somebody else said that you wanted me to... Спасибо, береги себя и сына, они тебе жизнь построили. Да, ты права. So tell me what exactly is it that... Oh, thank you for the hearts. What is it that you want me to make a video for you for tomorrow so it's helpful to you? Okay, because I don't want to just, make up some shit. I mean, sure, I can tell you my story, but... Okay, how to deal with unsettling memories without getting sucked in. Ouch. Have you explained to your kids what happened? Yes, I did. My daughter is 26 and my son is 17, so they're adults. I mean, I was a teen mom. I was pregnant at 17. I ran away from home when I was 17. I got pregnant. I gave birth to my daughter at 18, and I think my daughter saved me from going cuckoo completely because I had to grow up pretty quickly, you know, taking care of her. How do you release trapped energetic trauma in the body like chronic pain? Gosh, there's, you know what? I could talk to you for hours how I started it all, but it really began with my body crying, saying, please pay attention to me. So like I started peeing blood, essentially like the lining in my bladder got so inflamed, psychosomatic pain. If you wrote a book, says I would like to read it. Sure, I wrote a bunch. I have a few here. So this was my first one. This was my first trilogy, Siren Suicides. It's about suicide. This is my bestseller. Everybody likes it. It's about a girl with ADD, ADHD. It's about neglect. She's 13. She has a pet, a talking dog. It's about a rose garden that eats people. It's actually safe for kids 8 and up, but the ADD stuff is buried under, and neglect is buried under. I don't have a podcast yet. A lot of people have been asking. Maybe I will. This is about me when I was a teenage mom. So it's about a homeless girl who gets pregnant. This one is pretty violent, so just warning you. And this is about, you know, a father abusing a daughter sexually. So what do you make it? Incest. So I just published this one. No, I'm not a therapist. Yeah, if you want to get them, you can get them on my site, KseniaAnsky.com. It's my first name and last name.com. If you get them from me, all the money, most of the money goes to me, except, you know, the cost of the printing, and I'll sign them to you, and maybe you'll sell them on big bucks later on eBay. I don't know. Or if you want it cheaper, you can go on Amazon and Google them. Or if you have no money, you can go download my ebooks for free on my site. So, you know, I trust you that later on when you do have money, you'll support, you know, some artist or someone in pain. My books, well, if you can't find it, just go follow me on Instagram, send me a message. But it is on my site, on my personal site. It's KseniaAnsky.com. That's what saved me. So going back to your question, when you guys say, how do I begin? Blah! Wow, my English really sucks tonight. How do I begin healing trauma? I really could not talk to anyone about it, so I began by writing it out into a fictional story. So the fictional story, fiction gave me enough distance to go back into the memories that I really did not want to go back into. And that is why I was able to look at it from a distance. That's how I began. Fuck, it keeps sliding off. I'm a little cold. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? So if you've never written fiction, it's okay. You can just start journaling, but I would recommend changing your name, changing the name of the person who did something to you, and just begin free associating and like writing a crazy fantasy. You know, the funny part is, you guys, even though you imagine, your brain and your body will actually give you what really happened, because we're kind of dumb that way. We can't invent stuff that we haven't seen. So usually whatever you write is something that you've known before. You just can't help it. And so what you're looking for when you write fiction is for patterns, because you'll start noticing patterns, things that repeat. And that is really the truth. It's your body telling you, please listen to me. If any of you here are readers, if you want to read a book that will blow your brains out about body and trauma and memory and how it works, read the book. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. I recommend it every time we talk. So get it through your library. I'm not associated in any way with the author. I just love the book. It is fantastic. It will tell you how your body is always right and why you need to trust it, you know? So, I've been talking a lot. For tomorrow then, I don't know. We didn't have like really clear idea for, can you make one about safety? Oh, interesting. What kind of safety? Can you tell me? You loved that book? Yeah, that book was fantastic. I think, tired because my brain is all over the place. So once again, for tomorrow morning, what kind of a video do you want me to make? What do you want me to make the video about? Wow, maybe I shouldn't go live when I'm this tired. The title of the book, Mickey 80 can tell you, it's called The Body Keeps the Score. Okay, you got that? Of course I support LGBTQ, everybody, of course. I wrote a book about my experience being groomed online by an older... Whoa, I'm sorry. That must have sucked. But thank you for writing a book. Yeah, when you write a story, the power of story is that it has beginning, middle, and end. And you can put it behind you. And I wish I could show it to you in the process, like, you know, like if I could cook a dish, right? In 20 minutes, I can tell you, here's the recipe, do it like this. But I can't because it takes longer. But really what you do is once you begin writing it out, the pattern will begin speaking to you and you'll start seeing, you're like, oh shit. Yeah, the body keeps the score. Thank you, FYYP3. Yeah, I seem nice and lovely. I'm nice and lovely now. You should have seen me 10 years ago when I was beginning going through this shit. I was not nice and lovely at all. For those of you joining just now, we have maybe about 10 more minutes to go because I'm gonna crash. Just type what would be helpful. What would be, yeah, Bessel Wonder Kolk, the author is. What would be most helpful to you guys to make another video? Did it help? Did the video today help? The one that I did about how to stop hating your body, how to start loving you. Hey, yeah, hey, they hyper mod kid. Yeah, I talked to you. I remember you. I commented. I love you guys all. What's my zodiac sign? I'm an Aquarius. So my birthday was February 6th. And I was born in 1976. So I was born in the year of a dragon. I'm gonna breathe fire at you as a dragon. So what about tomorrow's video? Come on, tell me again more. Because I'm getting a lot of disjointed stuff and I actually didn't take notes. What would be most helpful? Was it about safety? Somebody said like how to be safe, or I can't remember. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the belated birthday. Somebody also asked me to make a series of videos to like tell you, here's what happened to me, how I overcame it, like a particular event. The role of safety in healing. The role of safety in healing. But what particular safety? Like, what do you mean exactly? Boundaries? I made a video on boundaries. Safety for me, like, for example, when my boundaries are violated, then even when I'm at home, I don't feel safe. Does it make any sense? Oh, you started writing? That's awesome. Yeah, writing is really, really a relief. So safety for me, I had to, I can tell you guys a story. That would be probably fun for you. Do you know, I imagined myself in a ball and it would have animal heads, like it would have claws and teeth. You know, kind of like, have you seen those inflatable bowls? People climb inside and then they go down the cliff and turn in the water, blah, 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 like these crazy adventurous stuff, right? So this is how I began to feel safe. Maybe that's what I should make a video about. I created in my mind an image of that entity. It was a dog, or like a cross between a dog and a wolf, but it wasn't an animal. It was like an animal ball, like a ball of animal skin, and the skin was heads. They were, shit, I need to draw it for you. So like, I don't know, maybe this will, you know, kind of like this, right? So these were like heads. You know, like they would have teeth. And this is like a furry ball. And I would sit inside. I would be inside of it, like inside of an inflatable ball. And so when I felt that somebody's about to violate my boundaries or I felt not safe, I would close my eyes and go, I'm inside my ball. I actually gave it a name, like a dog. And I would call upon it. And I would sit inside and I would know that these heads, if anybody reached in, they would bite the fucker. Whoever tried. And it's, I know it sounds crazy or I don't know, woo-woo or whatever, but it really helped. Like it helped me because I thought, wow, I can conjure this animal and this animal will protect me. So I really, really had to create these images in my head to believe that I was okay. I write dark fantasy, so of course my brain always imagines like 20 bazillion different things, you know, like, and so it helped me because I have a tragic story. When I grew up, my mom killed 4 of our dogs. I mean, she didn't kill them herself, but we had 4 dogs and I loved them. And I still remember, okay, this is the power and the horror of an abusive parent. So she had a fight with her mom, who was my grandmother, and she knew that my grandmother loved the dogs. They were all like strays, you know, mutts from the street. I love the dogs too. And then she had a fight. You know what she did? She put them all on leashes and she looked at me. I still remember that, in the door. I probably was 6 or 7, and she said, "What do you think? Should I go take them to the veterinarian and have them go to sleep?" And I looked at her and I so badly wanted her to love me. I said, "Yes, Mom." And then forever, it was my fault. For the rest of my life, I felt it was my fault that I decided that they would go to sleep. And so she took all those dogs and she nuked them. And my grandmother, she bawled her eyes out, but my mom hurt her back, you know, because my grandmother beat her with her head bloody on the floor when she was little. So it's like, and I was in the middle of it. How would you do that to your kid, right? So it was my decision. Later on, it was my fault. Because she told me, "Well, you decided." I still remember, I didn't know what to say. I love those dogs. So the reason why I created this ball is because the dog, one of them made it in here. I still love him. I'm so sorry. Bilan is his name. Bilan, прости, пожалуйста. I just talked to my dead dog. I hope he forgives me. So this book has a talking dog, because I felt that I was responsible for his death. And it's fucked up, right? I wasn't. It was not my responsibility, but she asked me. And so that's what she would do. She would ask me these decisions, like, "What do you think?" she would say. Or she would bring this new man home. I still remember I was like 8 or something. And I hid under a desk. I was afraid of men because men hurt me. I mean, my dad hurt me. My step-grandfather hurt me. So I was hiding, and then she told me, she looked under the desk. She's like, "What do you think? Should I be with this man?" And I'm like, I mean, why would you ask a kid stuff like that, right? And so I understand now, because she was actually very insecure and she was looking for me to parent her, as weird as it sounds. But it's just, all of my books are available as ebooks. If you don't have money, you can go to my site and you can download them for free. You know, or if you want, you can donate some money to me if you want. There's like a donate button. But if you're poor, this is why I'm giving it away for free. But if you can, I'll take your money, because right now in particular, I'm not paying myself because I did my startup and I'm like totally broke. So I'll take it. Thank you. But if you can't, don't do it. Okay, take care of yourself first. Hang on. There was I get so hyper mod kid says, "I get so scared sometimes based on something I say to someone, and it can have repercussions." So yeah, but my story just illustrates to you how something is as small as that, right? Just the parent asking you, "What would you do?" And you as a kid, you just really want to please them, right? And so you do it, but then for the rest of your life, you feel guilty. This is what fucks us up. Look, I'm in my 40s right now, and I still feel guilty about those dogs. I understand that it was not my fault. I understand that my mother should have never done it. Like, I've been through therapy and like I figured stuff out, and still I feel, it's like in my gut, like it just turns, because it was my favorite dog, you know, and he was young. Like, he was a puppy. Well, not so much a puppy, but so it just happens. Like another story I have, which is, a girl on the street gave me a kitten. You know, like when your kid's like, "Hey, do you want a kitten?" I don't know how she got that kitten, but I was like, "Yeah, I want a kitten." So I went home with that kitten, and because my grandmother was so devastated over the dogs, she took in another dog from the street. By the way, those of you have these families where your family members constantly bring animals from the street, right here, join the club. Our house was full of animals. It was cats and dogs that pissed through the floor. We had rats, mice. We even had a hedgehog. It was a pigsty, you know. It was really dirty. So anyway, so I bring that kitten home, and the dog kills the kitten, because the dog was like a wild, you know, I don't know where my grandmother got him from. I still remember it. So I held the kitten, and I was maybe 8 years old. I don't know. I wasn't really tall, right? So I hold the kitten, but the dog, he was big and black, and he's growling. And I think I dropped the kitten. I can't remember now. And the kitten ran, and then all these dogs run into the room, and all I hear is like this growling and screeching. So I went and I tried to save the kitten. Like I would try to, but you know how it is. There's 4 dogs and a kitten, right? And me. So the kitten bit me because it was dying. So as it was dying, it's convulsive. It was biting me and the dog bit me. So guess what happened? I went and I had to take 20 shots in my stomach against the, what's it called? Is the crazy dog disease? Oh my God, I don't know what's it called in English. You know what I'm talking about? Rabies? Is it called rabies? So my grandmother told me it was my fault. And then she dragged me to the doctor. It was, do you know what it is? Like this, I don't know if, well, any of you, yeah, rabies. So it was like this syringe and it would stick it in my belly. I don't know how it's done in America, but way back in Russia or in Soviet Union, that's what they did it. So I forever remembered it because for weeks I went in there and I took that shot in my stomach. And it was just like, fucked up stuff like this happens. And then it's blamed on you. It was my fault because I took the kitten, and I was told that it was my fault. So that's what you're facing probably, right? But it was normalized. Like, I never thought that I was abused. I was just thinking that I was a bad girl, that I should have thought better, right? That I should not have told my mom to kill the dogs. I should not have brought the kitten home. I should not have. That's just, or like I witnessed my great-grandmother, she, we have a dacha, well, not anymore, actually burned down, but it's like a summer cottage on the outskirts of Moscow. I don't know, it's actually an English word, dacha. So we would go there with the dogs. That was when the dogs were alive, but they weren't neutered. So one of them, she was a bitch, right? So she would get puppies every summer, and my great-grandmother would drown them in a bucket of water. And I watched it, and that was horrible too, but when you live around this violence, that daily violence, you get numb to it. And as a kid, you kind of think it's normal because every other kid is kind of like that. You saw your Cocker Spaniel get mauled by 3 Rottweilers. Oh my God, I had a Cocker Spaniel. Oh, holy shit. Okay, so here's another traumatic thing that happened. I had a Cocker Spaniel and I already had my baby. So I was 18. I was living with my ex-husband by now. He was also a kid. We were both 18. And I trained her that when I crossed the street, I took her with me without the leash. I would just lean and she would run. So she looked at me and I looked at her and I made the wrong movement. She ran and the car smacked right into her and the car just drove away because in Russia it was like, fuck the dogs, I actually saw a woman killed by a car in Russia, in Moscow, because she crossed, pedestrians in Moscow are like meat. I mean, it's not like here, not like in America. So my dog flew up and it dropped and she was twitching and I grabbed it and I ran home. I still remember. So we had to bury her. She died. So this is another reason. Remember, I made you a video of how you need to leave the environment that made you sick. The people that made you sick, you will never heal. Every time I go back to Moscow, I see the streets where the stuff happened, like my dog got killed and like all this stuff, and I can't. It's a trigger. The entire place is a trigger. The people, the language, like one of the other reasons why I was able to heal is I completely reinvented my identity. You guys, this is not my first language. I'm talking to you in English. I didn't know any English when I came here, and that was about 20 years ago. I was already an adult. So I blended in because I so badly wanted to escape. My last name is the name that I made up. It's actually an anagram from my first name. If you look at it, that's just the letters, shifted. It's officially legal, my legal name now, because I divorced and I made up my last name. So my language, the new language, because in English, I was able to talk about this shit, what I'm telling you now. When I talk in Russian, it's like my tongue gets tied. I can't talk about it, right? So I was just very, very lucky that I was able to run away to a different country, to America of all things. Like from Russia, that was like the pink dream, the pink glasses of everybody was like, oh my God, go to the land of dreams, America, skyscrapers, money, people with white teeth, which I still don't have I've never bleached my teeth actually, but that was like the joke about all the Americans, that they have this like smile that can shine in the dark because it was so white, because dental medicine was so bad in Russia. So I was just really lucky, and I'm lucky because I can tell you this right now because I was not able to back. And when I go back, I go maybe every 3 to 4 years I come back and it takes me about 2 weeks to get back to normal. Like I saw a man killed. That's another story. When my dog was still alive, it's like in the movies, you know, I'm in this apartment building, and I go to walk my dog, and there's all these cars pull up, and these guys get out. They're like in these black coats, you know, like I kid you not, like in the movies, like in the black hats, kind of like driver caps, right, and coats, and they're all looking the same, and they all pile into the entrance. If you know, in Russia we have like these entrances. You live in it's not like it's like an apartment building, right? And each one has like an entrance. There's multiple entrances. You walk in, and then people live in these flats. So I walk the dog back. I come back, and there's like this noise. I come up on the second floor. We used to live on the second floor. My dog ran downstairs barking to the first floor. So I come down, and I see this guy. He was pinned to the wall. He saw me. I was probably the last person who could have saved him. And these guys are like, they're all beating him. Basically, they beat him to death. He was found dead in the morning. They shoved him in an elevator. They pushed the elevator up to the last floor, and that's where he was found in the morning. That's how in Moscow, Russian mafia dealt with people. He probably owed somebody a debt, didn't pay. I don't know what it was. The thing is that I stand there and I watch it, and my dog is barking, and this guy comes up to me, and he just places his hand on my shoulder really gently. He's like, Miss, can you please take your dog and go home? And then he smiled, and I was like, sure. And I took the dog. I got home. I never called police. I was 19. You have this instinct when you grow up in violence like that. Later, these guys would drive in the car, and I would walk my baby in the carriage because my daughter was born when I was 18. And they would look at me kind of like, good girl. Kind of like, good girl that you did call the police. I mean, I was terrified, but I knew not to call authorities because I'd be next. So stuff like that, like there's been people killed in my family. My first ex-husband's brother, the one who picked up my baby and me from the hospital because my ex was a kid, you know, and he wasn't really there as a dad. He was traveling. He was killed in his apartment. He died from 40 knife wounds. He bled to death under a Christmas tree. We still don't know who did it. It's just, and if they knew, I'm telling you this right now, they'd probably crucify me. But I kind of don't give a fuck anymore because we need to talk about this stuff. You know, I've been carrying these stories. I haven't seen him. I was spared. I stayed home with my baby. But it's just like my cousin's wife's mom was killed in the store for a bottle of vodka. She was just knifed to death. So, like, how do I cope? Thank you for asking this question. You know, a lot of people ask me, like, is this real? I'm like, I wish it wasn't. And they tell me, where do you get ideas for your stories? I'm like, I wish I didn't. That's how I cope. If I don't write this shit out, I just think that I want to go crazy. You know what I mean? Because every time I call back, I learn about, I cannot even tell you. And the stuff that I've seen, like I've been chased, you know, I talked myself out of probably being robed and raped once. It was like 1 a.m. and I learned to survive. I learned to be a talker, you know, kind of like to sell the people into not hurting me. God. Yeah. It's you just live with it, right? If any of you are in an environment like that in the big city or in a city with a lot of crime with, I don't know, maybe New York or somewhere in Europe, that you just learn it or you get trampled. So yeah, I do look like nice and shiny right now, but man, I've been through some shit, you guys. I can tell you that. It's just because I don't carry it anymore that I'm so happy. Oh my God, we're so over time. Like I need to go to bed so I can function tomorrow. So once again, before I wrap it up, we kind of went all over the place, but we talked about safety. Something about safety. What do you want me to make the video tomorrow about? If it is safety, then what kind of safety? The one thing I remember that I told you about this ball of this animal, the ball of animal skin that I was hiding inside. I can talk about that. But what would that be? Like, what do you want me to make the video about? So it would be most helpful to you. It's kind of weird connecting with Russian kids online. Yeah, I live in Washington State. Hold on. So you're saying I've been suppressing my desire to start completely new. I thought about changing my name. Yeah, change your name. Seriously. How to protect your peace from others' negativity. Okay, that's a good one. How to protect your peace. How to protect... You basically how to protect you being peaceful, right? With all these people going, hey, why are you so, you know, calm or whatever. Talk about starting new. Tell me more. What do you mean starting new? Like, give me more ideas. Talk, you guys. Comment right now so I can, because I'm gonna write it down and I'll make you a video tomorrow. Starting new. So like starting from like blank page or change. Friends and family. Yeah, friends and family can really fuck you up because they know how to push your buttons. So, okay, vote, I guess. Do I do one about safety or do you want me to do one about starting new? Like reinventing yourself. Oh, that's a great one. Do you want me? I can totally do that. Do you want me to do a video on how to reinvent yourself? I can do that, you know. How to reinvent yourself. Okay, something, how old am I? I'm 45. Starting your life over. How to start your life over. How to start your life over. I like that. How to start. So how to reinvent yourself, right? How to start new. How to basically wipe all that shit and begin new. Kind of like a blank page. Does that sound good? So many of you are joining, guys. We're wrapping up already. I'm asking, if you want to, you can quickly comment right now before I shut it down. Tomorrow, what do you want me to make a video about? So we have 2 topics we talked about tonight. Hey, I love you back. I love you more, Dioria. 1, safety. How do you feel safe or how you protect your safety or peace from others, from negativity? And the second one, you said how to reinvent yourself. Basically, how to start new. How to leave the past in the past, right? Something like that. How to leave that abuse and all that shit behind you, how to reinvent yourself. Reinvent. Okay, I'm getting a lot of reinventing. Trauma stored in the body. What about dealing with home and school? Trust your own decisions. Bipolar disorder. Okay, keep going. So, reinventing, is that it? Just vote. Reinventing or safety. Don't worry if it's something that you want to make and it doesn't get made. I'll be tomorrow live again from 9:30 till 10 a.m. in the morning. And I'm longer live on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Reinvent. Okay, I got 3 reinvents. Okay, thumbs up. Yeah, you want reinvent? And then every night I come on from about 9 to 10. But I was late today, so I'm running a little late now. Reinvent. Okay, you got it. All right. So how can you... Okay, yeah, I'll make a video on how to reinvent yourself because I did do that. And I was lucky because I literally learned a new language. And I learned how to write like this shit, you guys. I wrote books. This is not my first language. I wrote it in English because I don't think I would have ever been able to write it in Russian, in my native language. So, all right, cool. Once more, come to my live streams at night from 9 to 10 p.m. If you want to talk with me about what you want me to make the video for you for the next morning. In the morning, I'm usually live after I post the video, so if you want to catch me, usually it's around 9:30 to 10 a.m. Pacific time. I might be late or I might go much later, but usually in the morning I make a video, I post it. So if you see the new video pop up, then probably soon after I share it to Instagram and blah, 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 I'll go live. So tell me if that video helps, and that's how we're going to keep the roll going, right? So I can help you in real life, in real time. It's actually something they can use right now. So tomorrow I'll do how to reinvent yourself after abuse, how to reinvent yourself after trauma, right? Or how to reinvent yourself. I'll come up with something else. Hey, thank you for the fire. Does it sound good? Yeah? Everybody sounds good? Everybody feels taken care of? I love you all very, very much. Please do something for you tonight. Hug yourself to bed. Tell your inner child you love them. Hug your body. Look at yourself. Say, to your eyes, say, I love you eyes, I love your cheeks, I love your mouth. Hey, girls, we hate our bodies so much. So look at it naked and say, I love your boobs, I love your belly, I love your butt, I love you. Like, caress your folds. They're beautiful. Tell them you love them, okay? And then I'll see you tomorrow. I love you all.